I went to Madrid for the first time and he's everything I ate during the trip. We arrived in Madrid at around 3 p.m. and we were starving. So we headed straight to Mercado San Miguel, which is the most popular food market amongst tourists since it's located right at the center of Madrid. Right off the bat we got this Iberico pulled pork bao. They reheated the bao in the steamer right before they served us, so it's really hot. Here's me failing to pick it up. The flavor profile of the bao is actually just a regular barbecue pulled pork bun, but it's made really properly. The meat was really tender and the garlic sauce was also tasty. Since the market was packed with tourists, it was really hot inside. Therefore I ordered a horchata from another store. Horchata is a rice-based drink from Mexico with spices like cinnamon and vanilla added to it. We also ordered a portion of churros to pair with it. Since the drink is sweet and the churro itself is not, they taste much better when paired together than by their own. We left the market shortly after since there were just way too many people in there. We headed outside and found a spot that sells empanadas. We got one with chicken and curry, and to be honest I was pretty disappointed by it. The dough was really doughy, and the curry sauce for the filling kind of feel like some kind of instant curry sauce with no spice at all. Just not very tasty overall. After some disappointing food and walking under the sun for so long, our morale were a little bit low. Luckily we found this cute little craft beer bar right outside the city center. This place is called Beer, and they brew their own beer in the suburb of Madrid. We had this amber lager which is really refreshing and easy to drink, and this Belgian double which is strong but really smooth. After the beer I felt like a new person and ready to explore the city and find the next place to eat. We visited the Chocolatería park and then we went to the district of Salamanca to find the spot for our dinner. We found this restaurant called La Maruca by accident. We didn't know it's Michelin awarded before we went in. The restaurant was super busy. Luckily they had a table for us for an hour and a half. We ordered some wine, and one thing I found interesting in Spain is that even if you just order a glass of wine, they will bring a whole bottle to your table and pour it in front of you. Anyway, they gave us some really nice crusty sourdough bread, and soon after our starter was served, we ordered the beef croquette, and it was the creamiest croquettes I've ever tasted. Before this trip, I always thought that a croquette is a potato-forward dish. In my mind, it's a fried mashed potato with meat inside. But this one was so smooth and flavorful, I was basically eating deep fried gravy. I then tried the gazpacho for the first time. I could never imagine that a cold soup can be this velvety and flavorful. The garnish under the soup was not just for decoration. They're almost like a hidden treasure to deliver you a new flavor when you mix it with the soup. For the main, we had this grilled octopus with puree, chorizo and potato underneath. The octopus was really tender, and the puree hits you with this deep, unctuous flavor. It's almost like eating miso paste with butter. On the next morning, we tried to find the best tortilla in Madrid, and we found this tapas bar called Pez Tortilla. We had this tortilla with caramelized onions, goat cheese and rucola in it. The onion was very sweet and the goat cheese gave it a nice gamey flavor. And the nicest thing was they didn't overcook the eggs. The creaminess, gaminess and fattiness of everything together kinda gave me the feeling of eating foie gras, which is amazing to me. After the tortilla, we walked around the La Latina district, and since the heat was too much, we headed inside the shopping mall and grabbed the frozen yogurt. We had it with watermelon and kiwi, and I don't know what to say, it's just nice in a summer day. For our afternoon snack, we went to a taco place. We saw this restaurant in multiple locations in Madrid, and the gimmick of this place, other than the really cheap frozen margarita that they serve, is that they sell almost all of the tacos for just €1 each. So it's perfect for a quick bite and a nice drink in the afternoon. We had the taco al pastor served with pineapple and raw onion, a pulled chicken one served with pickled onion, a pulled pork taco, and the one with cactus. One thing to criticize about these tacos is that they're not spicy at all. Like overall spicy food, it's kind of rare in Spain anyway. But hey, for €1 each, I'm more than satisfied. We then visited another park and walked around the city a little bit more, just to get ready for our epic Tapas Crawl in the evening. For the first stop, we found this very old school bar, and drinking beer here is a little bit different. Rather than a pint, they will serve beer in a smaller glass, which allows the beer to stay cold when you drink it. Kinda like how people drink Kirsch in Cologne in Germany. And this bar's specialty is their fried fish. It's a solid piece of cod fillet, better than deep fried. The fish itself is pretty well seasoned, which is perfect for going down with a beer. The second spot we went to was a more touristy one. There was even a guided tapas tour happening right next to us. For drinks, we had another beer and a vermouth poured from a tap. And for food, this place is famous for the seafood. The man who was running the place was trying to sell us some very expensive red prawns, but we were more in the mood for squid that day. Though the place was a little bit scary and way too busy, the food was actually pretty nice. The squid had this nice snap that only a fresh one would have. We then went to a proper sit-down wine bar / cocktail bar. Right after ordering the drinks, they gave us this free plate of aperitivo, which we found out much later that it's the common practice in this country. For food, we had this cherry tomato with burrata and pesto. It might sound kinda boring, but it was one of the best things we had on the trip. The tomatoes were blanched and tossed in a herby and garlicky oil, and they were served warm, which makes it sweeter and juicier. We also had the classic fried padron pepper, but this one was done a little bit differently. As you can see, they put this black dust underneath the peppers, which I think is some kind of smoky powdered dried fish, and it gave the simple dish an extra layer of depth. And to round the night out, we had a pastel de nata. I still think the best pastel de nata that I've ever had is the ones from Macau, but this one was also not bad. I was craving for salad on the third day in Madrid, and we passed by this salad cafe the night before and it was super popular, so we decided to give it a go. We ordered a plant-based Caesar salad with a side of roasted rump steak, and surprise, surprise, the steak just stole the entire show. They had an actual charcoal grill inside the salad bar just to grill the steak, and it was perfectly smoky and rare. After the brunch, we headed to the zoo and aquarium of Madrid. I took a lot of animal footage, so here's a bonus animal montage. After the zoo, we went back to the city and found this pokeball place for our late lunch. We had this spicy salmon bowl with wakame salad and avocado. But once again, it wasn't spicy at all. It was still pretty fresh and tasty though. Later that afternoon, we went to this chain restaurant that specialized in these small sandwiches and super affordable cold beer. My favorite sandwich was this one with chorizo in it, and it costed only €1. We then stumbled upon a very traditional bakery and had this piece of cake. It was very delicate, not very sweet, kinda reminds me the cake I had in Japan. We then went to this tapas bar that's famous for their patatas bravas. We tried to get a small plate of these fried potatoes just like everyone else in the bar, but the bartender said no, you can only order a full portion of it. After some back and forth, we realized the small plate's a free complimentary appetizer if you order drinks. So we got a tinto de verano and a small glass of beer. Finally we got a free potatoes, and it's really tasty. It's the first spicy food we had for the past few days. We randomly picked a restaurant for our dinner and we got a glass of white and red wine each. And since we ordered our drinks, we got this complimentary appetizer. It's a plate of Spanish cheese drizzled with honey. And for the appetizer we got this special zucchini salad. It got sun-dried tomatoes underneath the zucchini, and the black stuff you see on top are truffle salt, making the whole salad taste like truffle, which is a pleasant surprise for me. For a main course we ordered the Iberico secreto, the secret cut of Iberico pork. Since the cut is heavily marbled, people are referring it as the A5 Wagyu of pork. But unlike Wagyu, which would melt in your mouth, this cut of pork has a unique bounciness to it, letting the flavor linger longer on your tongue. The dish came with this honey-coated potatoes, which was also surprisingly good. We are on the last day of our trip, and we went to one of the famous Chocolateria for hot chocolate and churros. If you order the hot chocolate in one of these places, it usually wouldn't be a cup of hot chocolate milk, but you'll get this instead. A cup of silky smooth, thickened and melted chocolate. And it's less like a drink and more like a dip. That's why usually people are ordering some churros to go with it. Kinda similar to Taiwanese people dipping fried dough in soy milk. We ordered the hot chocolate without sugar, so it's not so sweet, perfect for me. And the churro was very light, almost airy inside. After the breakfast, we went to another food market, where I finally got to taste the legendary Spanish ham. The ham master working there would freshly slice your ham for you, and they would offer to vacuum seal your ham for you if you want to bring it home or something. But I couldn't wait, I had to eat it right there. For the past few days I've been waiting for this moment, but it's totally worth it. Some of these ham can get very expensive. I didn't order a very pricey one, but it's already way better than I could imagine. I also tried the dry cut spread in the same market. The orange one is with garlic sauce and the white one is with caviar, and I like the garlic one better. We are coming close to the end of our journey. And for our last meal in Madrid, we went to this restaurant called Mo. The restaurant has a really beautiful outdoor dining area, and it's famous for its wood-fired pizza. But after all these days of intensive eating, our stomach couldn't hold the pizza anymore, so we ordered some non-pizza dishes. The first thing we had is this cabbage and potato dish. Potato and cabbage itself might sound boring, but they put this cured pork cheek in it, giving it this intense porky flavor. I really love this dish. The other thing we had is this roasted aubergine. The aubergine was topped with roasted pumpkin seeds, chorizo and aged cheese, giving the dish texture, a nice smokiness and a depth of flavor. And for the final thing we had in Madrid, we had the famous Basque cheesecake, or here they just refer it to cheesecake. I tried to do the internet thing, scraping the side of the cake, but it was not runny enough to do this. Flavor wise, it was very eggy and creamy, like you can definitely taste the richness of it. So yeah, that's everything I ate in Madrid. Overall, I was surprised by a lot of things here and I can't wait to come back to Spain for more food. And if you like this video, check out the other one that I've made here. Thanks, bye.